I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghanies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee.
Good evening, tribe. Welcome to Living Your Best Life with John Kirk Kirtley, a.k.a. Life Coach Kirk. I just wanted everybody to remember that it's Black History 365 days a week. 365 days a year, 7 days a week. I don't want us to forget as we end this month, getting close to the end, that we continue to shine and show our purpose in this beautiful world that we live in, and let no one hold us down. We have to keep moving in the right direction. All right. So I'm Living Your Best Life show on Beautiful Unique Network. And I look forward to continuing with you every Monday evening at 8 p.m. so we can have a conversation about living your best life, as well as understanding the benefit of having a life coach when you definitely need to move forward. It's about changing your mindset, and what better person to have is that someone that has been practicing that for years and years and understands that it doesn't happen overnight. But if I give you the tools to succeed, I know you will make it and succeed on your journey of finding your passion and your purpose. That's what tonight's show is about. It's all for the first quarter, January, February, and March. It's all about your passion and your purpose. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that has been a part of my shows. You're genuinely appreciated. Thank you, and you keep me motivated to deliver the great guests that I bring and coaching strategies to help you grow and change your mindset so you can start living your best life. Always remember, the first step to beginning to live your best life is to call into the show, participate with us, ask us questions so we can go ahead and get you going in the right direction. Shout out to my producer over here, Alex, doing amazing things, loving him tonight. I'm at the right place at the right time, and I can't complain about that. So next we're going to introduce my guest. Has she called in? Not yet? Okay, so let me talk just a little bit. She should be calling in about 2 more minutes. But first I want to understand that when we talk about passion and purpose, your passion is what drives you. That's all about emotions. It's the emotions that keep you going from one place to another. Then you have the other part. Where am I going? Where do you want to be in life? What do you want to do to make sure you meet your purpose? Your purpose is usually long term. Your passion will change with the seasons, depending on what you're driving for. But at the end of the day, you're shooting towards your purpose and what you want to do, how you want to make it in your life, how you want to change life, and how you want people to say, how did I make America better, or how did I make this earth better by being here and practicing passion and purpose to meet my goals, my family's goals, my lifelong dreams, whatever it is. Don't let anything stop you along your journey, because we know quitting is permanent. It ain't no coming back when you quit. That is something permanent, okay? And then I go back again, and when we're talking about that purpose, on the tombstone, you have your sunrise and your sunset. You have that dash in the middle. That's your legacy. And your legacy should be tied to your purpose. Your purpose could be something that's just having a great family, making sure all your kids go to college or whatever they want to do, having those grandkids and spoiling them to death and sending them back home. Whatever you decide for your purpose to become, make sure you're passionate about getting there. My dad always told me you should do something that you'll do for free, because if you'll do it for free, that means you're doing it with your heart. And I truly believe that. You know, anything that I would just go out there and do for free, if I'm passionate about it and I love doing it, I know that it'll work out for the best. I can't complain about that. I always wanted to say one more thing we're going to look like is soon as my caller calls in, a couple of more minutes, we're going to get started. She's watching, so she must be trying to call in. Huh? Oh, let me put that number down there. I didn't know we were switching. Anisha, I'm sorry, a different producer tonight, and we're going to give you a different number to call in on her. I apologize. Here it comes. He's going to put it in the feed for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate. I know it's late where you at, and I appreciate you staying up to get this interview, because I got some amazing things lined up for us, and we're going to go from there. There we go. Now the number's out there. We're going to be winding up in just a minute, and we're going to go from there.
All right.
Hey, is that you?
That's me.
Hey, sis, how you doing? Oh, my goodness, I'm so happy. The amazing, I'm going to just call her by a nickname, Nisha Adams, is on the phone, my sorrow, all the way on the East Coast, originally from Kentucky, but now she's working somewhere for the weekend. It's 11 o'clock, and she said, I'm not going to miss this opportunity to have a talk with my big brother, Kurt, and she's on the phone. How you doing today, dear?
I am doing well. I'm doing great, actually. I just woke up from a cat nap, so I'm ready to do this.
Outstanding. So I'm not going to hold you. Go ahead and just give us a little bit about yourself, some of the things you enjoy doing, and at the end of it, align that passion for what you do. You do many things, but what you do and the purpose behind it. Go right ahead.
All right, so I am Anisha Adams. I go by Nisha, of course. And a little about me, I don't know what to say about me. I'm kind of into any and everything that I can get into. Um, for the most part, I am a mother of a teenager, so I'm around young people all the time. I enjoy every bit of that for the reason of watching them grow and kind of learning the world. I am a patient care coordinator, so I work with mostly elderly individuals to kind of help them figure out what's best in their health care. Um, that's pretty much me. I'm usually either with my son, I'm with my niece or nephew, I'm with little ones, or I'm at work. Outside of work, I do enjoy just being around others, having a good time, and helping others. That's really what my passion is. Kurt and I, we've talked about that quite often. It's my passion is helping. So in my personal life, I'm helping my son. I'm helping the young people that come to my house and want to sit down and talk about college and move forward. I'm helping people to sit down and say, hey, I don't really understand what the best healthcare needs are for me right now. So what do I need to do? It's hard. I'm on the road right now. And I just went home for one day. I got to go home on Saturday.
Right,
And
right.
I am back out. I am in Chattanooga in a hotel right now until Saturday when I get to go home. And hopefully this time I get to stay for a few days. But I'm loving it. That's my life and I'm loving
Outstanding.
it.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Is that where you at?
I am right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
6 o'clock, everything shuts down. It's kind of vacant out there after 6 o'clock. I
Yes.
mean,
Yes.
downtown, nobody on the streets. I was there just a couple of years ago. A friend of mine passed away, and a bunch of my Navy friends, we all flew out there, about 15 of us. Some people drove up from Florida and everything. And we was just amazed that, all of us are in big cities, and we're used to, like, kind of almost a 24-hour thing, or at least the 18-hour thing, but Chattanooga shuts down on you.
Oh yeah, I came from, the Nashville area and I'm hanging out in here. I mean, what do I do after 6 o'clock? I go eat.
Exactly.
That's it. I eat.
So going back, and I think this is what I heard. I'm a paraphrase this,
Yeah,
but
go ahead.
your purpose is just helping and developing others succeed. Whether it's in the health field, whether it's young adults coming to you maybe after high school or something like that and asking you direction or which way if they want to go to college, such as you did over there at, what was that, Eastern Kentucky State? What was that?
Eastern Kentucky University.
Yeah,
Yes.
Eastern Kentucky University. I did a little homework a little bit that you allow me to see, because you keep everything perfect on your Facebook and IG. But let me tell my audience, let me tell you, so my soror, yes, she's a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So we're constitutionally bound. So no matter what, we gonna love each other one way or another. And that's the love about that
Definitely.
blue and white family. But let me ask you this. So when we get to that point and you're helping and doing things like that and driving your purpose, what do you believe to be a unique skill that has helped you pursue your purpose in life, developing others, helping others, looking out for the elderly, making sure they have the health needs that they need? What unique skill has helped you achieve that?
Quite simply, just being able to talk to people.
Yes.
Whether it doesn't matter what age. I have on a regular basis, I have patients that come and sit down and talk to me that are old enough to be my great grandparents, and I can sit and laugh and chit chat and make them feel comfortable. I can sit down with my teenage son and his friends. I can sit down with my niece.
There you
I'm just
go.
a talker.
Yes. And if you're talking, and let me tell something else about you. So it's been about a year. Anisha and I have been going back. She gets up about 2 hours before me and hits social media before she goes to work. but I call her my CEO. And CEO is Chief Energy Officer. Now, that's a term used in some John Gordon books, who was my favorite author, The Energy Bus, and, a few other books that he's made, but The Energy Bus is his biggest book. Training Day, all those. But it talks about surrounding yourself with people with a lot of energy that's doing positive things. And I remember we had a conversation. You say, Kurt, I love you posting every morning. You always write something up about it. I don't always say something, but I look at them and they help lift me up. Was that a true statement? I'm sure it was, but
It was definitely a true statement. Yes,
that is great. And then we started paying more attention to each other and leaving remarks to let them know, hey, or you would post something up and I always, as a life coach, got to break it down in another way. I don't know why I do that, but it's just to add a little bit more oomph to it, to make sure people understands who my CEO is and who's out there making it happen and keeping people smiling. I read some of them remarks sometimes and people just genuinely love you. When we are people that talk a lot and is positive all the time and keep the drama is down to a minimum as possible, only as needed or when necessary, it attracts really lovely people around us. I know you spend a lot of time with your girlfriends and travel and have weekend dates. Tell me how that makes you feel when you're out there with them.
It's incredible. I just sincerely enjoy hanging out with great people that have a great energy about them. So if I am just sitting at the house talking to one of my girlfriends, if I'm out having drinks and dinner, I do that kind of thing. So if I'm out doing that, if I'm just like, hey, I just want to go and just chill out, put on some sweatpants and a t-shirt. I just want to be around people with great energy. And it's just very uplifting for me to have those people in my life.
Right. And I think one of your biggest fans is your brother. You guys are inseparable. I mean, and he's a Sigma, by the way, folks, so they keep it in the family, okay? Keep that blue and white in the family. But you and your brother, I always see pictures of you guys, or you'll have something going on, and just the greatest times. It's whether you're playing in the yard with the kids or something, or you going to church or coming from church, or just a family event, hanging out with your dad or whatever. It's a lot of love. And, when you see still pictures, and it's not like I'm there with you, but even through the pictures, when you see the smiles and the joy that's going on, it's very fulfilling and it's very uplifting. And I think that's why so many people are attracted to you. Other than your genuine beauty, we already know that. But just your energy is another thing that brings into the fold. And once people know who you are and get to meet you and understand you, oh, it's a wrap then. That's a wrap. Okay, so let me get into another question. In your words, what do you believe to be the most common reason people fail or give up on themselves and never find their true purpose?
Listening to other people, allowing other people to get into their headspace. People will tell you, people will tell you kind of where they want you to stay in their lives or in their vision. It's just, if you listen, it's kind of like, oh yeah, you would be great at that, but you really don't have the time to do it. And I think that gets to people. They don't hear the you'll be great. They hear the, but you really don't have time to do that. That's going to take a lot of work. And do you think you can do that? Or, that situation you had before. So just listening to other people.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Those energy vampires, as I call them, or haters, they always saying, what you can't do or what you shouldn't do. And I only try to surround myself with people that always encourage, well, what can I help you with? I know a little bit about that. Let me show you something that'll help you not get so much resistance or have to do it over and over again. That's the circle you want to have around you, because we always remember one thing. We can choose our friends, but we really can't choose our family. So I'm very selective in the people I put in my life. I can honestly say I have like 25 very best friends, and that's been built over time. And those are people that don't judge me. They appreciate me for me and appreciate me for what I give them or will do for them, and they reciprocate the same. It's the law of psychological reciprocity. I give you credit for your intelligence. You're mentally and morally bound to do the same for me.
But in getting to that point, though, a lot of us, myself included, there was a point that I had to say, even some family members, you know what, this relationship is not where it should be. If, I know of a young lady who was telling me that she had her parents were kind of holding her back.
Yes.
And sadly, it's hard to say to someone, you know what, you kind of got to let go, get them out of the headspace, respect them as your parent.
Right.
But hey, you know what, at this point in life, they're not the almighty word in your life. They're not the beginning and the end for you anymore. So it's not just our friends. We have to step up and say, hey, you know what? Maybe cousin so-and-so don't have the best interest for me. I love you. I'll see you at the reunion, but maybe I need to put a little space there.
Right. Exactly. My sentiments exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge our sponsors real quick and go to a quick break. I want you to hold on because the second half of this is going to blow you away. I told you, I do some crazy things sometimes, but everything I do has a purpose behind it. And we're going to come back and we're going to get to that. Give us just a few minutes and we're going to pop our sponsors up. We got 702 Braids for you, Cindy Michelle. We got her phone number right there, 510-606-5583. Does amazing braids. I mean, honestly, I wore braids for about 6 months and everybody like, Kurt, what's wrong? You slipping back or something? I said, man, I'm just enjoying life. I'm living my best life. I really don't have too much admiration for somebody to say, well, he's that old and he's wearing braids. It's my hair. I grew this hair 56 years. If I want to wear braids for a little while, I did like 4 months and I loved it. Now I'm back to my regular hairstyle, and I love that too. I also want to take a look at Bougie Girls Vegas, the boutique. Great earrings and jewelry, and got a men's jewelry line coming on board here soon. So just make sure you understand I appreciate all my sponsors and what you do for me. Got a couple of new ones coming up next week, and I'm actually happy about that as well. So let's go to break real quick. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and get this second half. Don't forget, you got to be right to live your best life right. Living your best life with Life Coach Kurt.
Potato sugar?
Yes.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand? You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Yearning for your validation. All in hopes I'm in the conversation. All in hopes. Pour so much of me into you. Can't believe I ain't never feel for me instead of you. I slide in the coupe, truck by, lose the roof. I die for the truth, inspired by no rules. The devils in cahoots, drop a prayer on the screw. Got God on my side, how can I ever lose still? I wanna be humble, but I gotta flex. On them niggas. I don't wanna mumble, but I need respect. Respect me, nigga. I do it my way, they say it's left. If I sell my soul, what I got left? Because I don't need nobody else. I'm lying to myself. Not talking physical, dog, the spiritual and health. All these opportunities is higher, I can tell. Gotta keep them in them stairs, cause the timing never fails. My advice, keep moving. If If not, you can lose it. Wasting time on the clueless. Knowing they can never do this. Back. Tell them pessimists they need to spine. Cause whack when they're paralyzed in the mind. I don't need nobody else. No, I don't. I will tell my younger self. What you say? You got God as your help. Just let it go and never dwell. My advice. Unless they good to you. My advice. Look in the mirror, tell the truth. My advice. Sometimes you gotta break the rules. My advice. Stand for something or die for nothing. My advice. Flex on the minute they hating on you. I would tell my younger self. Yeah. You should never go and let.
All right. We're back. This is like John Kirk Kirtley, Life Coach Kurt at Living Your Best Life on Brilliant Unique Radio Network. And we have our guest back in the seat again, and it's Anisha Adams. And you still there, dear?
I'm here.
Yeah, my sister is. All right. So this is one of the questions that I was having a conversation with a friend today, and I was telling him about what we was going to be doing. And he said, well, can you answer this question? I said, okay. So many people believe that in the healthcare profession that you're in is really challenging, especially during these times of COVID-19. And to the point that it becomes overwhelming sometimes or just a little bit too much to handle. What do you think and how you're handling with your patients?
Ooh, I have my days. It's not the patient. It's really trying to get people what they need and make them feel comfortable right now with all of the virus issues and everything. People don't necessarily feel comfortable, especially my elderly patients coming out. So there are days that things go great. Last week I had an amazing day. I got lots of hugs and kisses, and it was just beautiful. And then other days there's a push and a pull because it's like they're not quite understanding what I'm telling them, and COVID questions that maybe I can't answer. So it can be overwhelming at times. And how am I dealing? I take it one day at a time, one patient at a time.
Right. That makes sense because, I mean, you have to work on your self-love as well and staying healthy and staying positive so you can present confident answers and answering their questions and things of that sort about any situation that you come about in the clinic that you're working in or the patients that you're working with. I truly understand that. But I'm glad you're out there on the front lines for us, making sure everything's happening and keeping folks safe out there. That's a beautiful thing.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so, doing my research, I found out, we have a lot of things in common. I'm going to give you an opportunity to think about 4 things. And now we have probably about 15 things that I counted, but 4 things really stand out. Now, I don't know how much research you did because when somebody's going to have a conversation about me about passion and purpose, I kind of follow up and try to see what they got on their page too or something like that. So I give me 4 things that you think that both of us have in common. 4 top things.
We both like to travel.
Yes. Very good.
We both like really good food because I see some of your pictures. They look amazing. I've checked it out. From the things that I've seen you post and that I checked out about you, we both like to do things that aren't maybe the most common, typical things for fun. Like you like to jump out of planes. I haven't done that one yet,
Yes,
but
indeed.
we have a sense of adventure.
Yes, very good. And what's that last one? Now, this one, you can't miss this one. I think it was 3 or 4 years now, if I'm not mistaken. I was actually in, what was it? I was in Belize. No, was I in Belize? Yeah, I was in Belize. I was just leaving Belize and went to Mahogany Bay on a cruise, and then this happened. So it's somebody we both dearly to, and if I'm not mistaken, once you say it, I'll give you the favorite thing, because if I say it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. So I'll match it up. What do you think that last one is? Okay, I'm gonna give you a hint. Your favorite
Okay,
artist.
Prince. We're talking about Prince.
Yes, indeed. We are both diehard Prince fans. Ah man, you remember when they had the day on XM radio and I text you and say, sis, it's
Yes,
on
yes,
XM. They having
yes,
a whole Prince thing for the next week.
yes. And I
And
jumped on. Yes.
right. That is our common denominator. I can't remember exactly. It wasn't When Doves Cry, but what was your favorite song?
My favorite song has to be "Darling Nikki."
That's what it was. You're absolutely right. That's what I read.
Hmm.
Darling Nikki with him up on that speaker box with his guitar on
Yes,
the side, doing the
yes,
up and down humping thing. Yeah.
yes.
Everybody remember that, huh? That's
Yeah.
amazing. And the other two, the last thing is we probably the two last chocolate drops in the M&M package because it don't get no darker than us. Okay,
There you go.
we the
I'm
chocolate
telling you
stays out there. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. They know it.
what you said, right?
That's it. Outstanding. So you did pretty good. Hey, that was like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's that Zeta in her right there. She said, I know my
You
brother.
know,
I know what he like. I see.
I like to jump in there and investigate. I'm nosy. I check things out.
That's great. That's great. So, this is one of the questions, two of the last questions, and they're the fun questions that I have. So I had a video ready for you, and I just emailed it to you because it accidentally didn't get loaded up today. And so you're the only one to be able to enjoy it since I sent it to you. So you have to take those pictures and make it into a calendar. That's the calendar. That's the pictures. If I had to make a calendar for my sis, those were the pictures that are in there. So I sent it to your email. Check it out when you get a chance. So
I sure will.
if you could switch lives with one person for 24 hours, who would it be?
Oh goodness. One person for 24 hours.
Just 24 hours. We're not changing our life and being somebody, but for 24 hours, who would you like to be?
I would have to say, right now, honestly, Dionne Warwick.
Oh, nice. Wow, a little bit of Whitney's auntie and everything. So, I'm a big Whitney,
Yeah, right
Whitney
now,
fan. But right now, huh?
she is really just living her best life. She's on
Yes, she
Twitter
is.
and whatnot. She's tweeting and she's just at the
Wow.
point that she's like, I'm living life.
And
It is what it is.
she tweeting and she what, 78 years old? She's still
Yes,
in the game. That's
yes.
it. Nice. Nice. That's excellent. Dionne Warwick. Now see me on the other side, if I had 24 hours, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me be in the movie Purple Rain as Prince with Apollonia for 24 hours. I'm sorry, my hands
Okay,
is up.
Apollonia.
Yeah, that was back then when that came out, boy, that was my heart right there. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yes, when you're young back in the day, it don't take much to make you happy. So, yeah, I would be Prince for 24 hours.
I could get that. I could get that.
I would definitely do that. So, since I didn't get to show the video because that was the treat for my audience because they would love to see how, oh man, wait till you check out those pictures. I got some of the best.
Listen, okay, so when you said you sent me pictures of me, I'm not even going to lie. I was feeling myself, so I went ahead and peeked at them, and they made me smile.
Well, congratulations. So maybe for 2022, you can put those together and make a calendar.
I might do
That
something
might be your
with that.
Christmas present from me. Oh, no, you never know. But I picked out the ones that I could download because not all them pictures download. So I was like, oh, I'll take this one. But it was funny because as I was doing it, I was laughing. And I'm like, goodness gracious, she got like 14,642 pictures. Which ones do I choose? So that's another thing we have in common. We like to take selfies for sure.
Yes.
That is it. I cannot be mad at that. So as I look, and I'm going to take one more time, I'm going to try to figure out if there was during these tiring times, if there was an opportunity for you to change a law, that would govern everybody in the United States. So it's not just that one city is in control or it comes from the federal level. It's going to come from the federal level because that outtakes everything. What law would you like to have changed today to keep us moving forward? And when I say us, I say African Americans, because we're the most oppressed right now, as far as I can see. That's in the media and everything, based on current changes. But we still have a fight among us. The fight's not over. We just need to get some legislation changes and things like that. So if there was one that you could change, that you would make the biggest difference in anyone's life, what would it be?
That is very.
It's a tough
Wow, I
one,
have so many things pop. It's very tough. One of my majors in college was political science, so
okay.
I'm all into and correctional juvenile justice. So definitely, I want to go on the justice side, but I can also think of really, we're still fighting fairness in hiring practices and housing practices. And I see all of them. Goodness, you said one.
Well, you can elaborate on as many as you want to, and then we'll tag on with it and keep it going.
Okay. Of course, the disproportionate number of Black men, especially, that are locked up. The laws are definitely not in the favor of Black men at all.
Exactly.
So there's several different things that I would hit on the head, but unfortunately, I think I would start with drugs. Now we're seeing that, marijuana is becoming legal in certain states, but we still have our brothers, fathers, uncles, grandfathers locked up for some weed.
Right.
And that's beyond me. How states are making money off of it, but we have Black men that are still separated from their families for a little weed in their pocket. I'm not a smoker, but it's not that serious to me.
Right.
And housing, they have all these, equal housing acts and whatnot. They're not equal anywhere when you can still read that a Black family invites their white friend to come and sell their house for them, and the white friend can get, $500,000 more for the same house or something like that I read not too long ago. That's the real thing. And it's laws in different places that allow for that to happen.
How about the, so are you familiar with, I think it's the 12th or the 13th Amendment? The one that was made after the southern states where African Americans was set free, and the economy died in the South because nobody was out there being, pulling those crops and things like that. So those slave owners went to the police and said, we need to change some laws so we can get it that if anybody is a vagrant or not doing what they need to be doing, we can arrest them, and those people can be placed back on a plantation to work for free. And that's kind of where our prison system came from. Are you familiar with a little bit of that?
A little bit, tad bit.
Yeah, I try to teach that to my young kids that I mentor, the 13 to 18-year-olds, and tell them don't give the advantage to the enemy and keep doing things out here, because street crimes don't even exist anymore because there's cameras everywhere. So we can wipe that out. Okay, so then you need to go to that next level and find out, I told a young man, I say, you don't need to change your hustle. You just need to change your product. I want you to have that drive to be, most of these guys that are out here, they could be CEOs of their own company and make a lot of money based on their mentality of getting it done no matter what.
Yes.
But they don't understand that product, the bad product that they have out there, is filling up these jails and prison, which is making states and the government so much money it doesn't even make sense. I was talking to a friend the other day, and they said for every 2 colleges built, there's 5 prisons built. So what does that tell you from the start right there? That they are already banking that if they oppress you in your education and you don't get a good education, you're going to end up in the prison that they're building, because they're building more of them than taking some of that money and sending 100 kids to college. Not that they don't want to go, they just don't know how to get there, or have the right, let's say, mentors in their life or leadership to ensure that they keep on that path. You agree with that?
I do. And actually, we can take that kind of full circle back to, what I first started with, which was obviously changing the disproportionate number of Black men in prison, and kind of with the whole drug thing, then you're building in preparation for them to get there. So we change, I think it may sound far-fetched, but changing the law so that so many men aren't getting locked up, maybe at some point you can reach them to teach them.
Exactly.
If they're getting locked up before you can teach them, they already have a strike against them. They get out and you have a drug charge.
Yes.
So
yes,
then when they mature to the point of saying, hey, you know what, maybe, there is something to this. I could be a business owner. You're right. Is it really that simple? What I'm already doing, I just flip that and do something different with it. By the time that a lot of men in that situation get to that point, they already have strikes against them. Yes. So I've had people. I was a social worker for 7 years.
Oh, great.
I had men come and sit in my office and say to me, one guy, he broke my heart, and I'll never forget his words. He said, Miss Adams, if you can't help me, if I cannot get a job in the next week or 2, I have to go back to what I know. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, I had a list of places that were supposed to hire, felons, but that's not talking about a drug charge.
Right.
Drug charge, you're automatically kind of kicked to the street. So, I mean, sitting there, I wanted to say, hey, don't give up yet. But I honestly could not look him in his face and say, we got this. I really couldn't. I said, work with me. I was trying to kind of talk around it, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I didn't see him too many more times.
Yeah, because you know what happens. That stress.
Right.
That mental.
Right.
And that's part of that mental anguish or mental capacity that men aren't asking for help. They're not going to the places to talk about what's going on in their head and why they're depressed. And, I heard earlier on another show, depression, anger is depression inverted. So when we're depressed and we're feeling down and when we act out, it's just that depression trying to come out and we become angry, and that's how we act out. And then that's taken in a different way. And if we're in a confrontation with a police officer or something like that, we know how that's going to end 8 out of 10 times, unfortunately. When I was thinking about that, I had another question, or I had a statement. Last night I had the opportunity to be with about 16 distinguished men, and we were talking about mentoring and mindsets, shifting one's mindset. Like I said, if I got a young guy and he's out there in them street and he getting this hustle on, the best thing for me to do is explain that don't lose your hustle, but just find a different product. And some people think a product still has to be something like a drug or something like that. No, you could become a chef. And now you slinging food, and you got you a food truck to start you out, and now you're not looking over your back or putting your family in danger of what goes on in that other industry when you have this perfect industry that you can serve any kind of food that you want to, or whatever product that's going to bring you the reward that you can be passionate about and understand your purpose to drive further and know what your why is. And that might be to take care of your family, raise your child. Biggie said, I hated that the people that was calling the police on me, but I was just trying to feed my daughter. Things like that. I understand it's tough out here in this real world. But the key to it is definitely our education. I always love to say everybody knows what a passport is. It gets you from country to country. Well, your passport out of poverty is education, but everybody's poverty is different. And that's the key because, I don't have to live in the projects to think I'm in poverty. I could be in a middle class home, but when I'm not having the things that I'm used to having, that might put me in a state of poverty in my mindset. So everybody's poverty is different, but no matter what, the more educated we are, the more power we have. And then that'll take us to wherever we want to go. That's what I truly believe. Yes. So I know we're getting close. We winding down. Got about 13 more minutes left. I just wanted to say, when you coming out to Vegas?
Oh, I plan to be out in Vegas sometime this year.
Yes, we're opening shows back up on the 15th. I mean, smaller venues with not as many people, but it's open. So you have
you know what? I'm going to have to say, so the last time I was in Vegas, had some incredible food, went to the Magic Mike show. I see that the Magic Mike performers are practicing again.
Yes.
So yes, I plan on my son graduates in May, and I will be a mother that's on the loose. So I'll be out there
empty
sometime
nest.
after May.
You got an empty nest.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Just let me know because we still got, we can make things happen out here. Well, if you come out here, we're gonna have the time of your life. You didn't see me practicing with Magic Mike, did you? You didn't catch that part, huh?
I was like, that guy in the back, he looks real familiar, but I couldn't see the face. So
Right.
I think I peeped you. I think.
I'll be honest. That was back in my younger days, in my military days. I did my dancing debut. Brother can't move like that no more, but it was so fun back in the day. Well, I just want to say thank you. If you want to give us your IG, maybe somebody will reach out to you and ask you some questions. You never know, sis. Things change over time. But I tell you, if I ever get big enough to have my own support team, I'm coming after my CEO to be on my support team when I'm out there doing motivational presentations all around the United States. I got to have my sis, because you're going to have an empty nest, so I got to have my sis roll with me sometime, okay?
Hey, I'm down.
That's it. We leave nobody behind. The only time I look down on somebody is when I'm giving them a hand up, and I promise you that. That's the way I've always been. Been blessed. Anything last thing you want to say before we close it up for tonight?
I just have to throw in, I have to do a shameless plug for two of the organizations, nonprofits actually, that I absolutely adore. I spend a lot of time on the road, but I do what I can, even if it's just dropping a check in the mail. One of them is Believing in Forever. One of my good friends out of Lexington, Kentucky, he's out there in the community serving food, giving away free supply. He does a big coat drive every year. He gives across the state of Kentucky thousands of coats. So Believing in Forever, please check him out on Facebook, okay. Divine Karama. And then another that I'm very involved with is Live the Proof. Live the Proof, this man, he went from homeless at one point. He told me he was on drugs himself, didn't know which way was up, and now he is out there running a homeless shelter as well as feeding. I've been there to witness him have people come in off the street, and he is there feeding them, giving them a plate. No shame to it. Hey, how you doing, brother? He knows everybody. I absolutely love those two, adore those two, give them a lot of my time, energy, and money, whatever I can do to help them help somebody else.
Outstanding.
So
drop them in the feed, sis. Drop them in the feed so people can look them up so they'll know who it is, and we go out there and support them. Technology has made it so easy that you can go to Facebook and support anybody you want to. Liking and sharing don't cost anything, and if you can put $5 or $10 in an envelope and ship it to them, you still get to claim that at the end of the year you get enough of those donations done. Well, I want to say it's been an honor, and this ain't the end because I'm going to have you back. But this is great. I really appreciate you staying up late for me, sis, and coming on our show, Living Your Best Life with Life Coach Kurt. And stay blessed, stay Zeta, stay blue and white. and take care of your family, and have a great evening. I appreciate you.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, everybody. There was another great time tonight. We talked about the purpose and passion and those things, and we want to keep heading in the right direction. I appreciate you coming out every Monday night at 8 p.m. to catch my show. Please share and let somebody else hear the great news that goes on. And always remember, stay blessed and highly favored every single day. Wake up and do something special for somebody you don't know. Put a smile on their face because it'll put a smile in your heart. My name is Life Coach Kurt on BU Radio, Beautifully Unique, and we're signing off. Have a great evening. Thank you.
It's a little different this time. Yeah. I come alive in the nighttime. I'm bruising down in the state 9 to 5. 9 to 5. I'm going buck 5. Hope I don't see them cop lights. I'm in the fast lane. Yeah, he told me about the warning signs. And I'm trying to live fast, die young. We ain't got time. No, we do it part time. The benefits don't benefit. It ain't full time. More than 40 every week, putting overtime. I'm clocking 7 days a week till I'm prime time. That ain't enough time for the short time. Success, I'm trying to see a million by the summertime. Before it's fall time, and they forget mine. Cold world without my pockets warming when the shivering. Foot on the gas pedal, leave it stuck and dry. Never slowing down, had to cut the brake lines. Jesus, take the wheel, I'ma steal when I decide. That's just free will, we don't trust him all the time. When we should, but I don't mean to preach. When your hands upon the wheel, who you trying to be? Extend your hand out, tell me who you trying to reach. On yourself like you out playing hide and seek. Still I'm cruising for a chase. Knowing that my family is not safe. They not safe unless we keep a bag in the safe. It ain't safe. No, it ain't safe. Let's keep a bag in the safe. Yeah, right. They don't want smoke.